What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geezer Podcast, where knowledge is key, and we are seekers of knowledge. Today, we have a special guest, Lamar Wilson. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, James? You doing all right?
Good. And this will be part 2 from the first video for everybody watching on YouTube. So, Lamar, some people are asking about, is CBD safe? You know, like drug tests or, I don't know, any effects that could, I don't know, hurt the body that they were wondering.
Well, CBD by itself is not going to show up on a drug test because drug tests are testing for THC.
Right.
So CBD by itself, are not going to show up on drug tests. But if you have something that has a lot of THC in it, it'll probably show up. The thing is that if it's hemp or if it's hemp-derived CBD, it shouldn't have a lot of THC in it because it can't have over 0.3. And if you have 0.3 or less, you should be good, right? I haven't heard of anyone running into any issues on drug tests or anything from taking a CBD tincture, so to speak. So
I remember from the first video you were saying that we have to do like the seeds that you get, like they're already 0.3 or something, or they come from a plant that's 0.3.
Yeah, so
like
basically,
that, right?
basically you start with the genetics. So you have a plant that is already going to be very low in THC. It's been bred that way. So it starts that way, right? And then when you get the oil from it, you should be pretty good. And then, of course, you still dilute it even more by adding some type of, MCT oil or hemp seed oil, something to it for you to be able to take it actually sublingually. So, yeah, man, I mean, that's, of course, you could probably, if people smoke the flower, you got to be very careful because, I mean, the thing about flower is, you can't really be completely sure because once they test the flower, it's not going to be usable anymore, right? So that means you're not actually getting what's been tested. You're getting another one of the plants that is of the same type, which of course, just like, with humans, there are certain strengths to each one of the types. So that's the weird thing about how they're testing this stuff anyway. But yeah, so if you're smoking the flower, you might have to be a little bit more careful.
Right. So I've heard of some people, whenever CBD first, broke out, when people just started talking about CBD, heard of a few people that failed drug tests or got fired or whatever because of their CBD, whatever lotion or whatever they had. Do you think that, like, they had like CBD something, like lotion that they rub on their skin?
I can't see you failing the drug test from a CBD lotion, but you could if the THC level is extremely high. And that goes back to finding reputable companies that are actually selling products that are reputable, that have been tested, third-party tested, those kind of things. So, I mean, that's the reason why you just got to be very careful, especially if your job depends on it. When you work for yourself, of course, you ain't got to worry about it at all. But if you are working for someone who they drug test and those kind of things, you just have to make sure you're working with a reputable company.
Right. Sometimes I'd be thinking, like, I guess you could say the cheaper brands or whatever. Yeah. Do you think that it's possible for them to maybe get the seeds that aren't like the best quality? Is that why they're cheaper? Is that how that works?
I don't think it's about the seeds. I just think it's about, like, at the end of the day, the flower that they're using in many cases probably has a lot of THC in it if it has more than the government regulated amount. Also, you got to remember it's an oil. So once you start breaking it down to the oil form and into its compounds and it's a concentrated level, then that oil can be even more concentrated, right? So even when we extract from a plant that's 0.3, once we get it down to oil, that THC percentage goes up to almost 3%, right? So it almost goes up 10 times due to the concentration now of the actual material. So you have to be careful because if they just use it straight and don't do anything extra to it, you might run into some issues then.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And what is one of the most challenging moments that you've had trying to start Sunjoined?
The most challenging moments are always like we only been around for about a year. I think the biggest challenge that I've had is just getting the distributors to understand that they have to distribute, right? Like, they'll get excited about it, and then they don't market, right? Because they don't really understand how. So then we have to teach them how to market, or they'll get involved really quickly and then not really realize that it's still a business, right? Because the one thing I want them to all understand is if we do work together, and if everyone is marketing and pushing and working together, like sooner or later, it will begin to take off for everyone because it will start becoming ubiquitous. And I think that's just a challenge you're going to have in an early stage of any business is trying to get the word out about it, trying to make sure that you get your systems in place and those kind of things. But those challenges are stuff I love, right? That's the kind of thing that I like to do. So it's just part of it. But I think that's probably the biggest thing is just to get the distributors to believe in us all working together, because the truth is that not many businesses are built like this, where the investors are also the distributors, so on and so forth. So they have to realize that, look, you're the investor, you're the one pushing it. We're trying to keep our overhead really low so that you can have more profits as an investor, but you have to do your part as well. And I think that's the part that we have to teach people, because it's about all of us eating. And as long as we all work together, everybody can eat. So I think that's the challenge, just getting people's mindsets out of just investing and walking away. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like a lot of people probably would invest and walk away. I don't think not everybody, you know what I'm saying, is an entrepreneur who's trying to just go out and sell things. You know what I'm saying? Kind of feel like a lot of people would do that.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. We understood that right from the beginning, but I wanted everybody to realize that's what this company is built on. It's literally built on the fact that if we all do work together and continue to bring more people in and they work together, then we'll grow a company that can be the size of a Coca-Cola in 20 years or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of us will own. And I think that's the thing that I want everybody to realize. Like, this is a little bit different than just one family owning everything. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So
I agree with that. I like that a lot too, for real, for real. But I was gonna ask about the people who invest. Like, can people still invest, or is that something that's not gonna happen anymore?
No. We are actually going to hopefully, we got a couple hurdles to overcome, just like last time. We are trying to open up investment again in the fall, and of course, those people that are already investors will get to learn about that probably earlier than everyone else, is because they are investors. They'll know that we are opening the round back up. And then once we open that round up again, we'll try to raise $500,000 to $1 million again, and then we'll close it down, adding new distros along the way, that kind of thing. So that's where we are, man.
Right. So the people who put in, I don't know, let's say a lot of money when they invest, will they have more of a share? Is that how that works too?
Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, just like any other investment, once they put money in, they will. And it's not really a share, because we actually raise using what's called a safe. But it's basically they'll have a agreement for future shares in the future. At that moment, yeah. So that's what it all boils down to, and it'll all be proportional to however much they invest. So however much they invest, that's how much they will have. As a agreement of a future equity, right? Of how much they have in future equity in the company. So
Yeah, I feel it. And any advice for entrepreneurs my age, younger, or anybody, actually any age, for real, just anybody who's trying to be an entrepreneur just starting out? You have any advice?
I think the biggest thing is just patience, man. I think patience is one thing that gets overlooked, especially in our microwave type society, where everyone's used to getting likes really fast. Everyone tries to get as many followers as they can as possible, and those followers don't always equate to dollars or whatever. At the end of the day, you just have to know that it's patience. You got to understand it's about planting seeds, about watering those seeds, and then allowing the increase to come, and not really worrying about the outcome as much as you're worrying about those things that are necessary to get that outcome. So, like I said, if you plant seeds, you got to water it. You got to make sure it's getting enough sunlight. You got to weed around it. Make sure you take out the bad, negative things around it. All of that is work. And a lot of times people think that entrepreneurship is just, okay, I'll put this idea out here, I'm going to make some money. The truth is there's a lot of work involved, and especially if you're doing something new, there's a lot of mistakes you're going to make. So I think the biggest thing is just learning how to be patient, but to continuously work, because that's part of what patience really is, right? It's like to wait, but also work while you're waiting, because your patience is allowing you to understand that you know that there's something greater on the other side of your work. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I could tell people. And also just be humble, man. Like, keep your humility. Understand that when you have a service and you have a product, that you are a servant to your customer, and that you need to take care of them. That's why it's called customer service, right? Because you need to be able to take care of your customer. So I think those two things will really get you really far. Just to realize that your customer is king in your company, who you're taking care of, because they're the ones that are making sure that you're getting money.
Right. So you kind of feel like people need to take their time, but not just not do anything, but don't go too fast and not think about what they're doing. You trying
No,
like
I
you
mean,
saying like have a balance?
patience is more about, it's not about not going fast, right?
Right.
Patience is more about not expecting the results, like tempering your expectations to realize that the results may take longer than you expect or want, right? And when they do take longer than you want, which is usually the case, right? There are certain things that might pop overnight or something like that, but they usually don't live that long. But just know that a lot of times the results you really want usually take some time. And so it's not about not moving fast. You can move fast, but just don't move in haste. You know what I'm saying? Don't, because haste makes waste. When you just hastily moving and just trying to go get it at the extreme without understanding that some of it takes you a chance to get a foundation. I mean, it's just like anything. You try to build a house, if you put a foundation there and before it settles, you try to build a house on top of it, your house is going to be leaning in a few years. You know what I'm saying? Which then you have to fix that. So it's like some things you just got to take time and let it settle. And like even when planting seed, you put a seed in the ground, sometimes it might take 7 to 14 days before you see it pop up. Don't just give up and go back over the seed and be like, well, these aren't working. Let me put some more down. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just have to literally have patience and believe in what it is that you're setting up and know that it's just going to take some time.
Yes, sir. And I also remember from the last video, you was talking about the greenhouses and you was teaching people how to, I guess, plant the seeds. Is that right?
Yeah, grow. That's what we were saying. We wanted to do more of it, but we really can't because we couldn't because of COVID. And I don't know when all of this is going to get over, right? So it's hard bringing people out to the greenhouse when there's travel restrictions and those kind of things, right? So right now, it's that's still our goal for sure, is to create a Sunjoined University where we not only teach about growing things, but about all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Things that add skills to your life. So.
Because I was about to ask, I want to come out there. I'm trying to learn something.
Well, come on through. It ain't no thing, man. Like, you come on through. I mean, any day we usually out there in the morning time. So, I mean, a lot of people have come through, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to figure it out. We're at the end of one of our cycles right now. We may be beginning a new round here soon, but right now we're about to harvest. So during harvest, we'll be, hanging up the plants to dry, going through, bucking them, doing all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, man, I mean, we are, we're getting there, Doc. We're getting there.
Right. So would you think about doing something for like, I don't know, like kids in the community or something to like take a trip out there?
Yeah, I mean, we've thought about that, but again, it's still COVID, right?
Right.
Like,
I mean, after, that's what I meant. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have thought about that. There have been parents that have asked us, can we bring their kids out and teach them? But at the same time, we want to make sure we're safe and keeping the kids safe and those kind of things. But I mean, I'm sure that's going to be on the agenda next year for sure. Like, that's a definite probably.
Yeah, because that stuff's interesting, man. So much to learn and see, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that's actually in our backyard. It's like in Kentucky, man.
Right.
Which I think is good. Because sometimes I think like I have to go all the way out west just to, I don't know,
learn how to do cannabis.
Yeah. Some people wouldn't think you can just do that here in Kentucky.
Believe me, a lot of people know you can do it here because a lot of people have been doing it illegally for a long time. I mean, the mountains are full of cannabis. Believe me. But you know what I'm saying? But it will be, like you said though, because it's now legal. It's now you're able to go out and learn, right, and go do it without having to sneak up the mountain somewhere. I sneak in somebody's little back hole, down by the creek or something. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And right before we go, any advice for younger generations about just themselves or just any advice that you can give?
Like I said, man, I mean, that's a general principle, man. Like for me, is put God first, right? Trust God. Believe that what you got going on in your life is what is supposed to be going on in your life, and be patient, man. Like I think the younger generations, and I've been there. Like I'm a hustler, right? So I'm always like go and get it. And I realized that sometimes you can go too fast, and that makes you get out of control, right? It's like almost like driving a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? Like you see people on motorcycles when they're younger, they flying down the highway, popping wheelies, doing all of that stuff. And that increases, you might have a good time, but that increases your chances of you dying, right? But if you look at the old school heads, they got their gold wings, they just out on the highway chilling, man.
Cruising.
You know what I'm saying? They out there with the little radio popping, and they just going down the highway because now they've learned how to take that motorcycle, have fun, but enjoy every moment. Take in the surroundings. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about speed. It ain't just about running fast. It's about really making things work and last, man, and understanding that foundation and taking it in, man. I mean, you only got one life to live, bro. And if you always just trying to get it, you're going to miss out on friendships. You're going to miss out on relationships. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to turn around and get it and not have nobody to share it with, bro. And that's miserable. You know what I mean? So just take your time. You know what I'm saying? What comes to you will come. Keep working hard. Keep grinding. And just realize, like, the outcomes that you seek will come once you put the work in and you do the things the right way. Make sure you lay one brick at a time, basically. You build the wall one brick at a time, dog. And that's pretty much what it is.
And I appreciate it too, man. Thank you for coming on the show. It's the second time. Hopefully we get like a third, fourth, fifth.
Hey, man,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, you know I got your back. I appreciate the fact that you're trying to do something with it, man. And you keep doing it. Take your time. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get underwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? Just know that you're putting this content out there and you'll find your product market fit, man. And also know you need to market that thing. Like, you can't just be putting it on Spotify and think people gonna listen to it. You feel me?
I feel you. I'm about to branch on out to some new things. I got iTunes, Amazon got something too.
But you still gotta look. That's just distribution. You gotta market. You got to put your face in the place, bro. Like, you got to let people know what you got, and that's real. Like, that is real. Look, did I tell y'all the story of the water cooler last time?
Nah, not on the last show.
I'm gonna leave you with the story of the water cooler because this is for you.
All right, go ahead.
When I was 19, I was like, me and my wife, I had a new son, had a wife, and I didn't have enough money for rent. And it was on a Thursday. And I remember looking, I'm like, man, rent's due on Monday. I only got $180 in my bank account. So I looked at the bank account. I talked to my wife. I said, look, I'm going to go buy some water because Roots and Heritage Festival was coming up that weekend. I'm like, I'm going to take this $180. I'm going to buy some water. I'm going to buy a couple coolers with some wheels on it and some ice. And I'm going to go sell water to get this rent money. And my wife's like, do what you got to do, baby. So I took all $180 and used every penny of it. So we ain't got nothing in our bank account. I go get water, go get ice, go get water coolers. Get out there on Friday. Anybody who understands Roots and Heritage on Friday, it's the chill night, it's the jazz night. Ain't that many people down there, but I got to sell all 3 days so I can get this rent money. So I go down there to sell. I need $400. So I go down there to sell, and I'm walking around. I'm just like, I got water. I'm 19, so I'm still cool. Even though I'm married, I'm still, So I'm walking around. I got water. You want a water? I'm just talking to people individually. So good friend from across the street, a man I grew up with who lived across the street from me named Broski. He walks up. He said, hey, Ma, what's going on? I said, not much, Broski. He said, what you doing? I said, selling water. He said, give me a couple of them. So I sold my first 2 to him. And he said, man, let me tell you something. He said, don't nobody know you selling this water. He was like, put the water cooler down, stand on top of it, and yell. Let everybody know you got water out here, man. And I was like, man, I ain't great to do that. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I ain't great. That'd be like an idiot standing out here in the middle of the dang on Roots and Heritage. I'm already tall, so then I'm going to stand on top of a water cooler and be even taller, be taller than the tents. I was like, come on, man. So then I thought to myself, he walked away. I thought to myself, I was like, man, I got to make rent. Like, so hey, what I got to lose? So I took the water cooler, set it down, man. and just started yelling. I got water for $1, make you holler. I got that good water for $1, make you holler for $1. Get that water. I got that water. I started yelling that. And what I started noticing was parents was walking by with their little kids, and little kids turning over their shoulder like, and I can see them tugging on the shirt tail. Like, oh, mama, I want the $1. I want some water. I want some water. So they keep walking. So I'm seeing that, but I realized me yelling like that made those little kids know that I even had it, right? Yeah. So what do you think happened in about 5-10 minutes? Next thing you know, the mama comes back. She bought water for the kid, water for the other little kids that are with her, and we getting water, right? We getting the water off. But here's what I found out. The biggest customer I had was the people sitting at the booths, the people who were in those tents that couldn't move because they couldn't go nowhere and get no water. And they out there thirsty, and they got tons of money. They got pockets full of cash. So when I'm walking saying, I got water for $1, make you holler, they're like, hey, man, over here. So I wind up, to put it long story short, because I was yelling loud, because I was using my loud voice, because I was telling everybody I had something good that I had, then by the end of that weekend, I made over $800.
Wow.
So I paid my rent twice, basically. You know what I'm saying? I had rent plus enough money to get some other stuff for the family. So my whole thing is like that kind of stuff is what teaches me, like, that's why I call it the water cooler. You got to stand on your water cooler, bro. Like, you can put the distribution is one thing. Having it have places where everybody can get it is one thing. But if you're not out telling everybody that it's out there and what it is and how good it is every day, you are missing the opportunity. You have got to market, man. You got to tell people about your thing. And even if you feel stupid, who cares? Even if you think, man, they're going to clown me, who cares? Because at the end of the day, you doing this because this is something you love and what you trying to go get. You dig what I'm saying? So you just got to go stand on your water cooler and get that geezer show off. You know what I mean?
Sir. Hey, I feel it.
All right?
I think that's one problem with a lot of young people, too. Like what you said about if it makes you look stupid, like it don't matter. Because some people care about this, especially young people. You know what I'm saying? They be like,
yeah, but that's what.
Don't worry about it, man.
You know what makes you look even sillier?
What?
Is when you 30 years old and you wish you would have stood on your water cooler.
Hey, that regret. Hey, that regret. That's what I'm saying. Boy, that's something else right there.
Because you know you could have did more. You know you could have tried harder. And when you get to a certain age and you feel like, man, I'm locked in, I can't really do what I was doing when I was younger, then that's when it starts hitting you, right? So you might as well just do it. And plus, guess what? Ain't nobody gonna know you got what you got unless you tell them. And that's period. You know what I'm saying? The Bible even say that, right? It said you can't hide a light under a bushel. You can't, you know what I'm saying? What good is your light if you gonna hide it? Like, you gotta let your light shine, man. Real talk. And that's just what it is. Ain't nobody gonna know you got what you got till you tell them. So you need to be telling everybody, like every day, make sure you gotta check out the Geezer podcast. We got this person on. Make your little flyers, make your little what you call them, your little Instagram post. Make sure you telling everybody about it. Make sure you're getting people share it in your story. Take clips from this that you like, put the clips up, get people to watch it. I mean, you got to do the same thing that the big boys are doing. Because then guess what? Everybody's vying for the same time. And everybody got the same amount of time till they die, of course. But I'm saying, like, if me and you both right here in the same moment, what we doing with this moment in time is what we have chosen to do. So every single second is a competition. You are trying to compete with somebody for that time. Somebody's about to turn the Laker game on, right? Somebody else, once this is uploaded, they might be listening to the old Geezer podcast or whatever it is. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel it. Yes, sir.
Whatever it is, you got to understand you're in complete competition for everybody's time. And so you got to make it worth their while and let them know why, you know what I'm saying, that they worth that time. It's just like being the dude at the club and the cute girls in there and every dude's trying to holler, right? Who gonna be the one to get a number? You feel me? Yeah. You got all kinds of options out here, but you got to go advertise yourself. So that's why you dress up cold. That's why you put the cologne on. That's why you try to make sure your braids are short. I already know how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's because you got to compete with every other dude in there, man. That's exactly what it is on this internet. Like, every moment of time is a cute girl, man. It's a cute girl that you trying to talk to. For real.
I like it.
That means you got to get her attention, bro. So, but look, man, it's been good. It's been real.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, bro. And let me make sure you send me the links to these things. I don't even know where it's at.
All right, I got you. They on YouTube. And your website is going to be in the description below. So everybody watching on YouTube, make sure y'all check that out. And my website is also on there where I sell my merch and my clothing brand. And Lamar, thank you.
Yeah,
always
welcome,
a pleasure,
bro.
man. Appreciate it.
I'll let you, man.
See you later.
See
Bye.
you.